Have you ever looked back on your life and realized the biggest lesson wasn't what happened to you? It was what kept happening. The same kinds of people, the same kinds of conflicts, the same emotions, the same questions. For years, I thought I was collecting stories. It wasn't until I finished writing my book, The Truth Bubbles Up, that I realized I wasn't collecting stories at all. I was collecting patterns. And once I saw those patterns, I couldn't unsee them. Today, I want to share 6 lessons that writing this book taught me. Lessons I didn't fully understand when I sat down to write the first chapter. Welcome to the Kathie Owen Perspective podcast. My name is Kathie Owen. I'm a consultant who helps leaders, founders, and growing organizations recognize the hidden human patterns that influence trust, decision making, and performance under pressure. My work focuses on what I call human diligence, the patterns traditional due diligence often misses. But today's episode is personal. After months of rewriting, reflecting, and questioning my own experiences, The Truth Bubbles Up is officially republished. And while I'm incredibly proud of the book, the biggest surprise wasn't seeing my name on the cover. The biggest surprise was discovering how much writing the book changed the way I see my own life. So today, I want to share what it taught me. Lesson number 1, truth is patient. When I was younger, I thought clarity would arrive all at once. I thought one conversation would explain everything, one breakthrough, one therapy session, one decision. Instead, truth arrived quietly. One observation at a time, one memory, one conversation, one uncomfortable realization. Looking back, I can see that truth doesn't usually force its way into our lives. It waits. It keeps showing us the same lesson until we're finally ready to see it. That's why I named the book The Truth Bubbles Up. You can push truth underwater for a while, but eventually it rises. Lesson number 2, pressure didn't create my problems. It revealed them. This idea changed everything for me. Pressure didn't make people become more controlling. Pressure revealed control that was already there. Pressure didn't create emotional distance. It exposed emotional distance that had been quietly growing. Pressure didn't suddenly make me anxious. It revealed patterns inside me that needed my attention. Pressure became my teacher because pressure tells the truth. Lesson number 3, I stopped asking who was right or even who was wrong. I started asking what pattern kept repeating. This may be the biggest shift in my thinking. For years, I wanted answers. Who's right? Who's wrong? Who's the problem? Those questions rarely brought me peace. But when I started asking, what keeps repeating? Everything changed. Patterns don't care who's winning the argument. Patterns reveal what's actually happening beneath it. Once I started looking for patterns instead of villains, I began seeing people and myself with more clarity and more compassion. Lesson number 4, observation changed me more than judgment ever did. One of the greatest gifts I've discovered is learning to observe before reacting. Observation creates space. Judgment closes it. When I stopped trying to immediately explain, fix, or defend, I started noticing things I had never seen before. Not because people changed, because I did. Lesson number 5, the story did not change. I did. Many of the events in this book happened years ago. The facts stayed the same, but my relationship to those facts changed. When I first wrote about them, there was more pain, more frustration, more searching. As I rewrote the book today, something unexpected happened. I wasn't rewriting my past. I was rewriting my understanding of it. That was incredibly freeing. Lesson number 6. This book isn't really about me. People often assume memoirs are about the author's life. In one sense, that's true. But I don't hope readers walk away thinking they know me better. I hope they walk away understanding themselves better, because every chapter is really asking the same question. What patterns have been quietly shaping your life? What truths have been trying to surface? Where have you mistaken a single event for something that's actually been repeating for years? If the book helps even one person recognize a pattern they couldn't see before, then it has done exactly what I hoped it would do. So, if there's one message I hope you take away from today's episode, it is this: truth does not need to be forced. It doesn't need to be defended, and it certainly doesn't disappear just because we ignore it. It has a way of rising to the surface in relationships, in leadership, in families, in organizations, and in ourselves. That's why I believe the truth always bubbles up. If you'd like to continue the conversation, I've written a companion blog post that expands on today's episode with additional reflections and resources. You'll find the link in the show notes and description below. I've also started writing regularly on Substack, where I share shorter essays and observations about human behavior, leadership, and the patterns that reveal themselves under pressure. If you enjoy these conversations, I'd love to have you join me there. I'll have a link to that in the show notes and description below as well. And if today's episode resonated with you, I invite you to read The Truth Bubbles Up. While it's now available through Amazon and other major booksellers, the best place to purchase it is through my website. When you buy it there, you'll also receive the complete audio version where I read each chapter myself and share the heart behind the words. If you're a founder, executive, or leadership team navigating change, conflict, or growth, and you're curious about the human patterns shaping your organization, you can also learn more about working with me through a human patterns strategy session. There'll be a link to that in the show notes and description below as well. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if you know someone who could benefit from this, please share it with them. And until next time, remember, sometimes the greatest breakthrough isn't finding a new answer. It's finally recognizing the pattern that has been there all along.